Welcome everyone to the Chelmsford High School's 103rd commencement for the graduating class of 2020. My name is Emma Stover and I am the secretary of the senior class. Would you all please rise if you are able and remove your caps for the singing of our Star-Spangled Banner. Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light, once so proudly we heard at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so carelessly streaming. And the rockets with great bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet Everyone, please remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated.
Thank you, Emma. I'm Steve Murray and the principal of Chelmsford High School. It is my distinct pleasure to welcome you this evening to our 103rd commencement. I want to take a few moments to thank several people who worked hard at planning this graduation. Without the contributions of these people, we certainly wouldn't be able to be here tonight for this joyous occasion. So a special thanks to Dean Blagg, Dean McIsaac, and Dean Lyons, my office staff, Miss Moreau, Miss Wendt, and especially Miss Rick, who spent countless hours booking, canceling, booking vendors and other services throughout the last 3 months. The House Secretaries, Miss Mason, Miss Fallon, and Mr. Stacy. Our custodial crew, Charlie, Chris, and Matt. And a huge thank you to Chelmsford Telemedia, with the expertise of Tom Peterson, Dan Sylvia, Craig Robertson, and a host of others who support Chelmsford Telemedia. Mr. Sexauer, Miss Rader, Miss Comeau, and of course our guidance counselors. Ms. Loisel and Ms. Bartos, the class advisors, and also Mr. Bartos, who's doing double duty because he's reading the names of our graduates, which he does each and every year. Certainly the class of 2020 officers. They're an amazing group to work with, and they showed so much perseverance. Our PTO for the support of our seniors. Ms. Betty Gagman, the former Chelmsford art teacher who painted the beautiful picture that we gave out to students tomorrow. This would not have been possible without the generosity of the Chelmsford Rotary Club. They paid for the prints of all these pictures. The Town of Chelmsford Scholarship Fund, the Chelmsford Alumni Association, and the Boosters, who provide invaluable scholarships to many of our graduates. I'd also like to thank Mobile Staging Company and its owner, Joe Nagel, a former CHS graduate. They spent countless hours on the phone and in person to go over graduation. His company was donating the staging. Also, all of our faculty and staff at CHS who demonstrate a genuine care and love for the students. I'd also like to recognize the support of Dr. Lang, our superintendent, Dr. Hirsch, our assistant superintendent, the school committee, Paul Cohen, our town manager, and our selectmen and selectwomen. As you know, we have a number of talented students, including a very talented faculty speaker who spent a great deal of time crafting thoughtful messages to help commemorate and celebrate this special occasion. So with that being said, let's get started. This is a special moment for all of our graduating seniors, one that they've been waiting for much longer than any other class in the history of Chelmsford. This has certainly been a bizarre and unpredictable year, one that none of us have experienced or have seen. Change and unexpected change has been the norm for the past 4 months. Life is so unpredictable. The class of 2019 graduated as the senior class with the longest academic year due to the fact we started in August and there were no snow days. 1 year later, we're celebrating the class of 2020 who had the greatest number of snow days when they left on March 13th. Some of the changes we experience in life is predictable. It can be both joyous and sad. The predictable change happens at the close of each school year, and that's happening this year with the change of our staff at CHS. As we celebrate the class of 2020, we also need to celebrate a few staff members as well. Miss Nancy Arena, Miss Carangiosi, and Miss Brule are all retiring. Collectively, these three teachers taught 64 years in the Chelmsford Public School System. Miss Loisel, your class advisor, is also retiring. She's the fourth teacher. She's been a dedicated world language teacher in the district for over 30 years, 13 of which have been at CHS. She loved every minute of being your class advisor. Miss Arena, Miss Brule, Miss Carangiosi, and Miss Loisel loved their jobs and their work they did with Chelmsford. They love their students, and I firmly believe that students are academically, socially, and emotionally better for having them as instructors. On behalf of the staff and students at CHS, I want to say congratulations and thank you for your years of service. We wish the four of you good health, good luck, and good fortune in your retirement years. Please do not be strangers. Congratulations. Change. Change can be hard. Change can be difficult. Whether we want it or not, change will happen. And as the old saying goes, change is inevitable, except with vending machines. This was certainly evident with your class. Much like thousands of high schools and colleges across the country, change came unexpectedly and change came fast. It was hard to adjust and hard to understand. But unlike many of the thousand schools, high schools and colleges across the country, the hurdles you had to overcome as a class started well before COVID-19. Your unpredictable change started last October. Weather impacted dances, fundraisers, most of which were rescheduled many times over, and some never occurred. It became frustrating and complicated. A writer, Marianne Radmacher, once said, "Unexpected events can set you back or they can set you up. It's all a matter of perspective." Who you have become over the last 12 years was significantly shaped by your experiences here and by the people around you. Shaped by your teachers caring about you as people, by your family and friends, and by your own efforts navigating an altered landscape. Most likely, this landscape of change will continue for the foreseeable future. I ask you not to look at what you lost, but to look at what you gained. Through your struggles, you showed perseverance, resiliency, and determination. You gained the ability to adapt and move forward. Disappointment did not define you. Your character and determination did. It is this maturity and strong character that you will need in the next stage of your life. It is your sense of leadership and character that makes this class stand out. The classes that come after you will learn by your example. You never gave up. Your fearless class officers kept trying new and imaginative ways to try to replace the events that were lost. Although the results were not always what we wanted, the skills you demonstrated in adapting were invaluable. Skills, as I said, that future classes will need. You are just beginning the next part of your journey. You will be undoubtedly faced with difficult dilemmas that will test your character and personal resolve. Henry Ford said, "When everything seems to be going against you, remember that the airplane takes off against the wind, not with it. And as airplanes rise, you will too." You have a strong character, and you have that ability to persevere. You will be successful in your future endeavors. Do not be afraid to start your journey if you have not done so already. My niece graduated recently, in the last couple of weeks, from Lafayette College. Hers was a virtual graduation. She, like her peers, were forced to leave Lafayette last March. They never experienced her senior semester or were able to go back to their school to see their friends. The school planned an in-person graduation in August, but had to go virtual just recently. As I looked at their program, and I talked to my brother-in-law and listened to one of the speakers, I focused on what one of the speakers said in Lafayette's motto, because their motto was mentioned. Their motto is Latin, Kernan, which means, why not? The speaker said, why not have the courage to live boldly? Why not engage in every aspect of learning? Why not use your intellect, energy, and talent to find your place in the world? Because anything is possible. This made me think of you. Why not? Do you want to try a class you never considered before? Why not? Do you want to try a profession or a job that you're reluctant or shy to pursue? I say, why not? Do you want to go on an excursion, try a new hobby, or live with your family until they decide to move out? I say, why not? We do not know what the future holds. If you have your health and the support of your loved ones, then I say, why not? Go do it. The only regret will be the one if you do not try. We need people with your character and determination to step out from their comfort zone and embrace the changing landscape, because that will set you up for future success. Remember what Lion's Pride means, because this is who you are and who your parents and teachers knew you could be. I am saddened we could not say goodbye in person. I am comforted by the fact that CHS's class of 2020 will be making positive changes in this world, positive changes this world needs. I look forward to hearing about your future successes. Good luck, congratulations, I am proud of you, we're all proud of you. As much as CHS is a comprehensive high school that offers a quality of 21st century skills such as liberal arts education, extensive co-curricular offerings, numerous student-run clubs and activities, a wonderfully supportive community comprised of dedicated parents and a strong community, and a vibrant and active alumni association, a school is ultimately judged on its ability to produce high-quality, college-ready, and world-ready students. Our student speakers tonight exemplify this rich tradition. It is my distinct pleasure to introduce our first speaker, our class salutatorian, Kevin Hamilton.
Good evening. I would first like to start off by thanking all of the members of the administration, faculty, and staff, not only for the countless hours of hard work spent preparing for this ceremony, but for their determination and passion that has guided us to this very moment. Thank you to family and friends for their endless support. And perhaps most importantly, as we celebrate our graduation today, I cannot express the deep sense of gratitude I feel for the class of 2020 and for the countless memories that we have shared over the past 13 years inside and outside of the classroom. I also would like to congratulate you on your resounding success at Chelmsford High School. Success. It is so easy to lose sight of what success truly means. Experiences within school systems are too often defined by ratings. Did you get an A on this? Did you use the right equation? Did you remember the right date? We often categorize school as if it was an industry instead of a place of growth and merit. No one ever said that their favorite memory from high school was filling in a bubble on a Scantron sheet. Our success at Chelmsford High School encompasses so much more. We have found friends that support us and make us laugh, faculty members who encourage us, a club or sport that made us feel like we belonged. We have challenged ourselves, and it is important that we realize that even at the most simple level, we will leave being able to write more eloquently, calculate more precisely, and speak more effectively. That is success. We focus on the big events of our lives to determine our success, but in doing so, we overlook the perfections of ordinary experience. As Mr. O'Keefe always says, small things lead to big things. Seeing Mr. Murray whiz by on his scooter, learning how to salsa dance in Spanish class, the rush of a good practice, or that simultaneous smile when the music finally clicks. We make connections and we make memories. Life is the greatest gift of all, so appreciate every moment of it. Do not forget that happiness leads to success just as much as success leads to happiness. Just as we receive our diplomas tomorrow, we will set foot on a new path that will enhance our capability to succeed. We are about to be launched into a world that is too often characterized by its flaws. Just as much as I ask you to seek solutions for its problems, I feel it is equally as important to encourage you to amplify all of the wonderful things that our world provides. Make connections with people and make meaningful memories. See the world, try new things, experience and learn. And challenge yourself. Conversations with those that disagree with you are the conversations that are worth having. True success in life is not measured by salary, awards, or the number of Instagram followers one has, but is measured by the sincerity of one's smile, the capacity to show compassion to those who need it most, and the ability to admit wrongdoing, apologize, and change for the better. And do what you love, because if you put passion behind ambition, the world will become a much better place each day. Imagine how amazing the world would be if we all did what we loved. Our tradesmen and women would construct better homes, our military would better safeguard our nation, our artists would flourish, our business people would provide better services, our doctors would discover more cures, and our leaders would help more people. Don't give up on your dreams, because you will be much happier once you reach where you are meant to reach. There will always be obstacles, but remember that they are not to be feared, but are to be embraced as lessons that will strengthen your will to get you to where you are going. And if you have discernment, faith in what you plan to achieve, and confidence in yourself, you will go far. Grasp onto opportunities that allow you to better yourself, your organizations, and your community. Do not let yourself be entranced by honors, awards, and positions, but be proud of your kindness, be proud of your integrity, and be proud of your dedication to hard work. Those are the keys to true, meaningful, personal success. With that, I will leave you with this. Mark Twain once said, "The two most important days in your life are the day you are born and the day you find out why." May you all find your why, and may you all find success. Congratulations, class of 2020. Thank you, and good luck.
Thank you, Kevin. For the presentation of the class gift, please join me in welcoming to the stage the class treasurer, Aaron Zhu.
Good evening, Chelmsford High, class of 2020. Faculty, parents, and guests, there's just so many. Our years have all went by in a flash, but we have certainly made the cash dash splash. Our class gift will be nothing less than splendid, despite the unfortunate way our year has ended. We had several requests to build a big statue of Demers, but we think our idea is something you'll all much prefer. With support from Mrs. Cochran in the theater program, we'll be purchasing an electronic message board, ba-bam. The board will go on the exterior of the gym and pack wall and can display text and graphics in color, big or small. It will be used to promote our school's many events, whether a sports game or a show the theater presents. Now, of course, this gift does have a certain expense, but the best class gives the best gift ever. It only makes sense. To Levi, Alex, and Emma, thank you for everything you do. Don't worry, Bartos and Loisel. We can't forget about you. Class of 2020, thank you for each and every day. Congratulations, you made it. Hip, hip, hooray. Thank you.
Thank you, Aaron. Thank you for the class of 2020 for a very thoughtful gift. Since Chelmsford High School was opened in 1974, Principal George Simonian has always identified the most important student of the school as the class president. Mrs. Simonian would know this. Mr. Simonian would want you to know this is the 64th Chelmsford High School graduation. Not only is the president responsible for leading the class, the president is responsible for taking the pulse and working with the school leaders to help the school continue to evolve and come together. It is no surprise, due in no small part to their contributions to this wonderful institution, that each class president's name is inscribed and memorialized on a placard in the main hall. This year's class president has certainly lived up to these expectations. Please welcome this year's class president, Mr. Levi Cass.
Good evening. It is an honor and a privilege today to speak on behalf of the class of 2020 to welcome faculty, teachers, friends, family, and guests to the commencement of Chelmsford High School's 103rd graduating class. Before I begin, I'd like to thank Deans Lyons, Blagg, McIsaac, and Principal Murray for the countless hours of hard work and dedication that often go unseen. Although this year was a bit of a roller coaster, your focus and determination on making our class feel celebrated never faltered, and working with you has been nothing short of phenomenal. Senor Loisel and Mr. Bartos, you have been a constant source of wisdom and guidance for me, and as class advisors, you have given so much of your time and energy towards making our time at CHS truly amazing. For that, we, the class of 2020, are so grateful. Alex, Emma, and Aaron, thank you for being one of the brightest parts of my time at CHS. I could not ask for more compassionate and dedicated fellow officers and friends. I would also like to thank my parents and my brother for being a constant source of guidance and support all these years. Last, but certainly not least, I personally owe all of you, my fellow classmates, a great debt of gratitude for all that I've learned from the relationships we have formed and the memories we have made together. Over the past few months, the collective class of 2020 has been in the spotlight on various forms of media and has received praise from many for being strong, perseverant, and resilient. This reputation has been proven over and over as communities across our nation have come together to celebrate their graduates in innovative ways. To many, the collective class of 2020 will be remembered by online graduations and virtual proms. However, I am sure that our families, friends, CHS staff and faculty, and of course, our fellow classmates, would argue that there is so much more to our story than just this final chapter. Certainly, these past few months have proven our perseverance and reliance upon each other. However, these are virtues that have driven us all over the past 4 years. Looking back now, it's hard to imagine holding an event of over 600 people in just one side of CAF 1. But the Tundra Tango this fall was one of the highest attended dances in years due to the leadership and determination and school spirit of our senior class. But we've also been a class that has picked each other up to overcome adversity. Although dances were sparse this year, this past November we were able to hold one of our classmates up high with a dance that supported him and his family and that was student-led and coordinated. The ways that we have faced and overcome adversity as a community have been innovative and impressive, to say the least. So yes, today we commend our accomplishments as a class and as a community. But we each have our own stories, our own journeys to celebrate as well. Over our 4 years together, we each have found our own passions, our own flames that have motivated us. Whether in the classroom, on the stage, on the court, on the field, or in the community, we all have brought our own individual gifts and talents to Chelmsford High, and we have let them shine. And be it a teacher, guidance counselor, coach, director, or mentor, we owe so much to this academic community that has stoked the embers of our dreams and pushed us towards accomplishing some truly amazing things. Here at CHS, we are blessed with exemplary faculty and staff whose main priority is first and foremost to ensure the success of their students. And most importantly, we have fueled each other these past 4 years, in a sold-out pack or in the tundra at a sub-zero Thanksgiving Day game. As peers, leaders, teammates, fellow musicians, and so much more, we have lifted each other up and have burned so much brighter together than we ever could apart. And now, as we celebrate all that we have accomplished, I hope that we do not let what we missed this year snuff out our flames. But rather, I hope that we let our perseverance, our resilience, and our passions burn brighter. Because it is times like these, when the world seems so dark, that people like all of you shine through. As we stand on the threshold of our future, I hope we all take our flames wherever our paths may lead us and set the world on fire. CHS Class of 2020, congratulations, and I can't wait to see all of the good you create and inspire. Thank you. On behalf of the Class of 2020, I pass the gavel to you, Peter Mitchell, as the new president of the Class of 2021. You will carry on the traditions in your role as class president with honor and integrity, which has been the hallmark of this position over the past decades.
Thank you, Levi. I am honored to be able to speak today to the members of the Class of 2020, their family and friends, Principal Murray, the deans, and faculty. On behalf of all the underclassmen, I want to thank you, seniors, for everything you have done for us, for the example you set, and for the energy you brought to our school. You are our mentors, our tutors, our sports captains, our band leaders, our theater stars, and our club presidents. We will always look up to you. Your impact on us, whether just by saying hi to us in the hall, giving us a ride, speaking up in class, or energizing a pep rally, will not be forgotten. The Class of 2020 is such a special class, a class filled with academic, athletic, and musical talent, but most of all, filled with kindness and strength. You have taught us resiliency. You handled this unprecedented school year gracefully. The underclassmen are grateful for your example. I would like to recognize and thank the 2020 officers, Levi, Alex, Aaron, and Emma, as they each embody all the characteristics that make an outstanding CHS student. My fellow 2021 class officers and I will always appreciate the generous efforts you made to help and guide us. And to the Class of 2020, we are all excited to see where your paths take you from here. Wherever you all end up next year, I hope you are welcomed and greeted by the same acts of kindness that you showed us when we entered Chelmsford High. The Class of 2021 was proud to share our school with you for the past 3 years. You will always be our role models, our leaders, and our friends. But today, you begin a new chapter in your lives. Today, you are graduates. I wish you all the best.
Thank you, Levi. Thank you, Peter. The valedictorian is a position of supreme honor. Our highest achieving student, the title valedictorian represents the student who has excelled over a 4-year period in every aspect of his and her studies. It is my pleasure to introduce this year's valedictorian, Aaron Zhu.
Good evening, Class of 2020. 147 days ago, we took our last laps in the halls of Chelmsford High. And now, 147 days later, after trying to become TikTok famous, binging hours of Netflix, and getting some gorgeous tan lines, here we finally are, graduation. Our experiences at Chelmsford High couldn't have been the same without many people. Thank you to Principal Murray, Deans Lyons, Blagg, and McIsaac, the 4 finest looking men in the school. Also, thank you to our class advisors, Senora Loisel, for feeding me with cookies at school, and Mr. Bartos for all those awful dad jokes. And thank you to Mr. Vitale? Oh, that's a mistake, sorry. And last but not least, thank you to all the teachers, counselors, and staff, as well as our families and friends for all of your dedicated support in making us the people we have grown up to be today. Today, we officially say goodbye to Chelmsford High as we embark on our next endeavors. But as you move forward with all your experiences from these past few years, I'd like to quickly share 2 stories with lessons that you'll hopefully take along with you. For my first story, I was on a swimming training trip. By the 13th practice of the week, my entire body was completely exhausted. And in a freezing cold pool at 6 a.m., there's nothing I wanted more than to just collapse in a bed. That morning, we were doing this tough set of doing 10 rounds of sprint races. As we started the 9th round, my coach was yelling at all of us. These should be all-out max effort. No one should be saving up for the last one. I was really swimming like straight garbage that morning, and with every single muscle feeling as stiff as rocks, I decided to do exactly what my coach told us not to, hoping I'd be able to finish the set on a good note. But right as I was about to step up for that last one, my coach told us we ran out of time and wouldn't be finishing the set. Well, let that be a lesson if you backed off on that 9th one, he said. If you're at a meet and think you can back off on a race because you're guaranteed another swim in the future, you'll never get other chances later on ever again. This set, and if anything this year, reminds us of how easily we take things for granted. On July 21st, one of my best friends in the swimming community suddenly passed away. When I think about the fact that just 2 days prior, I was still laughing with him, it only shows how quickly our world can change. I think we can all relate to this when in March, many of us walked out of Chelmsford High thinking 2 weeks later we'd be back again. But what if we had known that March 13th was going to be our last day ever at CHS? While this year may have taken away so much from our lives, let it serve as a reminder to take advantage of every single moment and live each day knowing tomorrow isn't promised. My second story brings me to a swim meet 9 years ago. My mom never bought me food at meets, but that day she surprised me with a giant cinnamon pumpkin muffin. As an 8-year-old who lived off foods such as muffins, cakes, and cookies, the muffin was already making its way towards my mouth. But when I saw in the corner of my eye an older teammate fighting back tears under his hoodie after he had just been disqualified in a race, I did the unthinkable. I, the kid who ate 4 sandwiches for lunch throughout all of high school, chose to sacrifice my muffin to a kid I didn't know. With my twig of an arm, I handed the muffin to him, and slowly but surely he cracked a smile as his teeth sunk into my muffin. And the amazing thing is that 9 years later, this kid still remembers this exact moment. Since then, Ben Cote, class of 2019, has become one of my best friends. Especially in our socially distanced world where countless issues have divided us by hate, I think there's nothing more we need than instances like this. Times where we go out of our own way to reach out to someone. Looking back, what truly stands out to me are the times when I made a surprise card for someone before their senior night, when I would text my friends good luck before a big game, or when I would send my best friends funny TikToks when they're having a bad day. And in each of these moments, when I tried to make those around me smile, I, myself, found more reasons to smile. There's honestly no better gift you can give someone else, as well as yourself, than to spread happiness through kindness. Class of 2020, we are entering this world at an unprecedented time. From systemic racism to climate change, there are countless issues that our world has been sharply divided upon, waiting to be solved. But class of 2020, we can no longer remain silent in the face of these issues and wait for others to take action. It is time for us to take advantage of the present, to emerge as the leaders of our generation and use our voices to lead positive actions of change. And while we may be physically separated on a day like today, we must always look towards cooperation, so we have the courage to reach out and understand each other. Only then will we be able to build a better world together. And with that said, Aaron out. Congratulations, class of 2020.
Thank you, Aaron. Please join me as I welcome this year's Vice President of the Class of 2020, Alex Lawton, to introduce our faculty speaker.
Hello, class of 2020. It's sad to admit that this year has been a downer. With all the canceled events and staying at home, it's nice to be reminded of how much excitement can come out of CHS. And to me, no one represents this excitement more than Mr. Craig Vitale. This guy practically radiates positive energy. Given the chance, he will talk your ear off. I'm honestly scared to hand this mic off to him because we will be here for a long, long while. Yet still, he's the perfect guy to talk about CHS. He's a man so incredibly involved in the school community, he even married a teacher here. Mr. and Mrs. Vitale are the perfect duo because she picks up the slack of his horrible math skills. But Mr. Vitale is still a smart man and a very passionate history teacher. In his classes, he eagerly shares this passion with his students. And this is only the beginning of his connection to CHS. A lot of people know Mr. Vitale as an incredible swim coach. This man is obsessed with swimming, and his passion and commitment to the boys' swim team goes beyond words. The bond he has with his athletes is that of the best Hollywood movies. And while looking at him, you might not see it, he's also quite the swimmer. Aaron can tell you about this one time Mr. Vitale beat him by the slimmest of margins at a race in Russell Mill, given all possible advantages, of course. The list goes on. Previous class advisor, mentor trainer, and probably most stressful of all, AP coordinator. I can't think of anyone more qualified to speak to our class. And so, it is my honor to introduce to you all Mr. Craig Vitale.
Thank you, Alex. Hello, class of 2020. Wow, what a ride these last 6 months have been. I truly never thought I would be selected for such an honor, and let alone giving a speech like this in front of an empty auditorium. I know this is not the senior year that you had dreamed of, and I can say that no one ever dreamt of something like this for you. Class of 2020, you are truly an incredible class and will always have a special place in my heart. I am beyond honored to be virtually in front of you today, and I know that despite these times, you are going to do incredible things in the next walks of life. I personally cannot wait to see all of you return and tell me all the incredible stories from your time away from CHS, and how much this bump in the road did not keep you down, because I know that this class, the class of 2020 from CHS, will do amazing things for years to come. I want to start off today by thanking Principal Murray, Dean Blagg, Dr. Lyons, Dean McIsaac, Dr. Lang, Dr. Hirsch, the entire school committee, and all of my fellow Chelmsford Public School colleagues for everything that they have done and continue to do during this pandemic, and continue to show why Chelmsford is one of the best communities in this state. Thank you to all the parents, guardians, grandparents, siblings, family members, and friends who have supported the class of 2020 through one of the hardest times a senior in high school could have had, and are watching here today or here in spirit to support all of the class of 2020's accomplishments and achievements and graduating from Chelmsford High School. Well, class of 2020, somehow you are all here watching me, and let me say, you made it. For some bizarre reason, you all decided to pick me as your graduation speaker. I know that over the course of your 4 years, I've had almost 50% of you either in class, plus block, or on the swim team, and yet you all must have forgotten about one thing, that when you give me the opportunity, especially now, that you are all at home, and I know you have access to the materials you will need. Could everyone please, watching, take out a blank piece of paper and a writing utensil. Today, your ID quiz will be, all right. I know for some of you, you have PTSD kicking in right now after not remembering that you hadn't read the textbook the plus block before. My bad. Despite not being able to give you all one last ID quiz today, since I will not be able to grade them incredibly hard like normal, I can still give you one last thing. So buckle up, class of 2020, and get ready for the Thunderdome. One last 10-minute Mr. Vitale time, also known as MVT for those who haven't had me in class before. And 10 minutes is really an arbitrary number that really means I'm going to ramble on for an undisclosed amount of time until I either get tired or have looped back so many times I've forgotten what my point was. So everyone, it's time for one last ride on the MVT train. So this last MVT won't be on my main man, Andy J., or how crazy John Brown was, but geared towards the three things I have learned that I believe will help you all the most to become the greatest class to graduate from CHS. First, I'm going to let you into a little secret. Those coveted grades that you begged us teachers for have been all used up. No one cares anymore what your high school GPA was. Legit. Those were mainly used for you achieving scholarships and getting into your certain post-secondary institutions. Do academics matter? Of course they do, because the better you do, or will do in your continued academic career, will keep more doors open for you. And the more doors that you have open are the more opportunities that are there potentially for you. But academics will only bring you a step of the way. So what do you do? What do you need to do to get the edge up in this world beyond just academics? You need to outwork everyone around you. Look, through your yearbook and your class photos, for the last 12 years, you've been competing against only the people here in Chelmsford in your academics, your athletics, your music, your theater, your mock trial, your Model UN, your speech and debate, your DECA, your science team, and your math team, and so many more of these high school activities. Starting now, you are competing against everyone, which is roughly 7.8 million people, 328 million people in the United States and the 7.8 billion people of the world. Whether you're going to college or going to a postgraduate program, straight into the workforce or going into a military, there is someone out there who is smarter than you, tougher than you, better looking than you, and are willing to work for less than you. You have to earn your worth, and you do that by studying harder than everyone, working harder than everyone, and proving that you deserve every ounce of what you are doing. That high school GPA isn't going to bail you out if you had a bad day. No, it's the connections you make at the internship that you didn't really think you wanted to do in the first place. It's that high school job working at Market Basket when you consistently come in to work 30-plus hours a week during a pandemic, all the while excelling at the job. It's your summer job that may turn into the reason that you get hired for the first real job because you proved to that boss of yours that you were an excellent employee who would always be looking to improve while outworking the rest of your peers. These connections are the ones that just may be the reason you get hired for that career or dream job that you have always thought of. The positive connections you have made and will continue to make will power you to success, as those connections will be the voices promoting you for the next steps in life. The approach of attacking each day with an attitude of outworking everyone will lead you to success. But understand, it will not always be on the first try. That leads me to my second point. There will be setbacks. Working hard doesn't always mean that you will immediately find your ultimate success. Life comes at you fast. #Corona. But you have to roll with the bumps as they are thrown your way. Did I think at 18 or even 20 that I'd be a single father at the age of 23? Of course not. I thought I'd be living the mid-20s life with the boys probably down in Boston or Somerville. Having a child means you got to grow up fast. I could easily have said that I didn't want to be an adult and quit, and yet I couldn't. You have to realize something. Sometimes that bump in your world is the best thing that would happen to you. I have the most amazing 11-year-old son and the most amazing wife. And trust me, this wasn't something that just magically happened overnight. I had to be all right with going down a path that in high school and college I had not dreamed of. I had to realize that this new unexpected path was actually a really great path. This was something I figured out quickly and made a dozen more massive mistakes in my life as it took me to get to the path I am on today. Bumps in the road are going to happen and not easy to overcome. But class of 2020, you have a really big bump with this entire coronavirus. You have a choice what to make with it all. You can dwell on everything that you missed, or you can say that this entire thing, as much as it was terrible, has shaped you into a different, stronger path. Bumps will happen just like this year. You get to choose how you want to respond to that bump. Getting over a setback and not letting it affect you isn't an easy way of thinking. And trust me, at 18, 20, 25, 27, I wasn't thinking that the path I was on was the right one, as I lost plenty of things so many young adults did or could do. But looking back upon all of it, I wouldn't have changed a thing, as those bumps brought me to the path of where I am today. That leads me to my third point. You have to surround yourself with people and do the things in life that makes you happy. Getting the most likes on Instagram, the most retweets, or over 2.1 million views on TikTok doesn't guarantee you all the happiness that you are striving for. Changing who you are to get someone to like you destroys your inner being. Trust me, I've done it, and it eats at your soul. You have to always make sure that the people you take company with are the ones who truly love you and would do anything for you. Having a few very close people in your life that will always be there for you is worth everything in the world. For so long, I've always wanted people to like me. It wasn't really until a few years ago when I realized that I had it all. I have the best friend group I could ask for, who are legit uncles and aunts to my son. I found a partner who could treat me right, and I have a job and coworkers that I love. You have to be happy in what you do. Strive for that life where everyone treats you the way that you treat them, and find a job that you're passionate about, all the while not caring what others think about you. Trust me, I found it. Hence probably why I yell at all of you in the hallway for running to your cars at the end of the day, because one, I don't really care what any of you think about me, and two, because I truly believe CHS is a great place and want to make sure everyone is safe and happy. Chelmsford High School and its entire community is my happy place. As Chubb said to Happy Gilmore, you need to go out and find your happy place. Put the work in and get there. And it becomes even greater once you have achieved it. So what now? The clock is ticking, and I know you've all been timing this 10-minute MVT, and Mrs. Vitale is watching with me now, and in the process of letting me know that I am way over my allotted time limit. Well, let me leave you with this. The likelihood is that the next job you will get won't be your dream job and the career you think you deserve. The likelihood is that you may even see it as beneath you to have to take a job you are overqualified for or something that you are disinterested in. That'll just be a bump in your plans, and good will come from it in a way that you may not have thought. What you do now is you work your butt off, proving that you are a valuable asset to your employer, who one day may be that reason you take a step towards the career you have always dreamt of. Or maybe you outwork everyone around you, and that employer gives you the keys to the business, where you now control your own destiny. Or maybe you realize the bump pushed you towards that new path, one you didn't dream of, but one you have found happiness with, and that it changed your presumed direction. And class of 2020, you, more than any other graduating class of recent memory of Chelmsford High School, knows exactly what a bump is. So go out there, outwork everyone, make those positive connections. Don't let any bumps that may come up derail you. Surround yourself with those who love you and treat you well, and go after the ultimate happiness in your life. Because by doing those things, you will find true success. Thank you for the honor of selecting me to speak to you, and from the bottom of my heart, congratulations, class of 2020.
Thank you, Mr. Vitale. Now the moment we've all been waiting for. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my distinct honor to present to the Chelmsford School Committee and the Superintendent of Schools the graduates of the class of 2020 for the conferring of their diplomas. As the principal of Chelmsford High School, I have certified that the students before me have satisfied all graduation requirements and competencies articulated by the Chelmsford Public Schools and the Commonwealth of Massachusetts.
The graduates of Emerson House. Jasmine Nichelle Adams. Anthony Henry Adonio. Karam Al-Kofahi. Abigail Mason Angwin. Kyle Robert Arena. Benjamin Leo Atwood. Shannon Rose Bailey. Sarah Rose Baldwin. Samuel John Barber. Christopher Lee Barrett. Sean Patrick Beauregard. Evelyn Melissa Bernard. Justin Donald Berube. Isabella Joyce Blute. Bryce Mateo Borletto McCrae. Sarah Lori Bordelais. Haley Marie Dominique Buno. Ava Jessica Cameron. Brooke Elizabeth Cardillo. Elizabeth Joanne Chan. Jake Michael Chasen. Joseph Ronald Coleman. Brian Straits Cormier Gonzalez Gee. Amanda Kate Curatolo. Olivia Cho D'Agostino. Mia Kazuko de Mulpier. Jacob Daniel Devlamank. John Lewis Dillon. Isabel Catherine DeTavi. Sean Thomas Doherty. Connor Lee Dorbiala. Trinity Nakri Erlinson. Bula Emad Estefanos. Alyssa Joy Fields. Sean Robert Flint. Megan Elizabeth Flynn. Connor James Frugally. Andrew John Garvin. Elizabeth Catherine Govain. Emma Jane Gelino. Evelina Marie Giampa. Liam Patrick Gillette. Kayla Serena Gomez. Evan Michael Goodall. Janae Nicole Greenlee. Jack Arthur Grover. L. Lee Hansen. Bryce Anthony Haskell. Nicholas James Havener. Erin Margaret Hill. Megan Claire Hill. Haley Christine Hood. Zayun Melody Huang. Grace Catherine Huffman. Patrick Stephen Francis Hughes. Jeanette Jerusel. Eric Reese Johnson. Subi Louis Kazozi Kugwa. Thomas Johann Kirkove. Matthew John Kilmartin. San Kim. Grace Eliza Crass. Ava Shannon LeBlanc. Sarah Eugene Lee. Jacob Isaiah Levin. Claire Christiana Lyon. Noah Charles McAllister. Andrew William Madsen. Caitlin Elizabeth Mann. Ryan Patrick Markham. Victoria Lee Matthews. Leah Grace Mathewson. William Sean McCarthy. Elise Young McGowan. Adam Jeffrey Michaud. Kaylee Ann Monahan. Madeline Noel Morin. Rebecca Eve Newman. Madison Marie Nigro. Emily Leah Nolan. Tyler David Nolan. Kelsey Marie Nunnery. Michael Carlos O'Connor. Caitlin Elizabeth O'Leary. Dev Amish Patel. Hetal Rakesh Patel. Sanvi Hasmukh Patel. Shiv Sunil Patel. Jessica Catherine Pierce. Zachary Matthew Picard. Sophia Aphrodite Piper. Benjamin Fletcher Pitts. Lorelei Catherine Plunkett. Harold Stephen Post. Abby Reagan Quirback. Michael James Regan. Emily Rice. Shane Manuel Rogers. Eric Patrick Ruman. Eddie Hunter Russell. Lily Bell Shipers. Alexander Manfred Schultz. Ashley Esther Siaka. Anish Amit Shah. Devanshi Parind Shah. Ahmed Shaheen. Joseph Robert Shea. Rachel Elizabeth Suave. James Matthew Sestilio. Trayvon Carlos Souza. Erin Elizabeth Allen Stewart. Gianna Rose Tamilio. Shelley Truong. Elaine Chen Sin Su. Robert Jeffrey Turner. Emily Juliette Verselli. Noah Ronnie Verma. Colleen Margaret Wallace. Shannon Elizabeth Walsh. Jeremy Leighton Ware. Sky Elizabeth Whitlow. Hansel Zeizig. The graduates of Hawthorne House. Sydney Rose Alto. David Walter Erikellian. Annabelle Lisa Arlen. Christian Mesuri Barbosa. Chase Alexander Bowles. Guillaume Bernard George Bosch. Dylan Robert Brotherson. Olivia Rose Buckley. Michael William Cameron. Grace Kathleen Cardone. Elaine Wang Chen. Tiffany Melanie Chuck. Isaac James Cho. Max Ann Cody. Brooke Mariana Coughlin. Seth Damon Cordemanch. Sean Robert Cox. Dylan John Crawford. Julie Amaral Cunico. Caitlin Pearl Curry. Olivia Rose Dalton. Claire Angwin Danahy. Emma Patricia Davis. Olivia Josephine Davis. Evelyn Rosemary Damaris. Emma Laura DeWitt. Mia Bella Dion. Grace Elizabeth Dion. Joseph Brian Doherty. Juliana Francis Dress. Jacob Douglas Dufresne. Sophia Elizabeth Egerton. Joshua Thomas Esperanza. Benjamin Lee Finney. Ava Juliana Fioricano. Grace Louise Flanagan. Christian Lee Gastonguay. Carly Marie Gambus. Nicholas Kevin Gigliotti. Zachary Adam Gilbert. Patrick John Good. Kevin Daniel Hamilton. Eden Grace Harfield. Kevin Edward Higgins. Patrick Allen Hogan. Zachary Davis Hutchinson. Kendra Lily Jiang. Anna Rose Kehoe. Wiltord Elijah Kabuka. Diana Weirimu Kimani. Emma Michelle LaCava. Benjamin Joseph LaMadeline. Allison Sarah Landers. Coleman Robert Lawler. Alessandra Dantas Lebrun. Nika Neuma Lusaint. Maura Francis McGuire. Jake Michael Marshall. Nicole Mathis, Hannah Lynn Matson, Ian Ronald McCarthy, Teresa Joan McGraw, Andrew Patrick McMillan, Megan Jacqueline McNaught, Allison Ann Merrill, Leah Jeanette Michaud, Katerina Emma Monis, Samantha Hope Morton, Megan Kathleen Murphy, Aria Michelle Degwa, Paige Michelle Nolan, Dan Longica Ntambwe, Henry Thomas O'Donnell, Anish Panda, Haya Patel, Yashvi Mehul Patel, Haley Elizabeth Patella, Gemma Eve Pecchia, Victoria Lynn Peterson Shula, Hannah Grace Polche, Christopher John Poulin, Crystal Lily Chow, Trevor Michael Rice, Edward Connolly Rigney, Julia Yelan Rose, Delaney Sarah Schiefen, Sanjana Serum, Angelina Mary Sarah, Nishi Himanshu Shah, Samiksha Sharma, Carl Robert Shaw, Roy James Sherman, Jenna Rose Souza, Cameron Robert Sovey, Mark Anthony Spinali, Jerry Junhao Su, Zachary Christopher Thomas, Andrew Duncan Tong, Karen Maili Touch, Christopher Charles Timula, David Joseph Walsh, Matthew Eric Waterman, Yvonne Von Yee Welsh, Zachary Jacob Williams, Shannon Elizabeth Wink, Fei-Lam Wong, Hannah Elizabeth Wood, Connor Fleming Young. The graduates of Whittier House: Nick Poya Ashtar Zeta, Nika Danielle Ashtar Zeta, Lauren Elizabeth Babcock, Olivia Ann Beals, Jennifer Karen Belanger, Ryan John Berry, Stephanie Frances Bianco, Julia Vaughn Blair, Matthew Frank Booth, Darcy Elizabeth Bozek, Hannah Marie Branco, Jacob Riley Briere, Benjamin Ryan Brown, Eduardo Cabrera Sorrentini, Sarah Elizabeth Kane, Jack Davis Cerullo, Nicholas Jungcha Chan, Aryan Ashish Chaudhry, Rose Chen, Gregory James Chipchak, Ryan Willem Cohen, Colin Jennings Connor, Janisha Janelle Conway, Casey Claire Cordemanch, Emily Ann Crane, Owen Matthew Crowley, Alexander Joseph Cruz, Angelina Rose Dagati, Ryan Nicholas Danadraw, Lilia Jane Dean, Ash Melody Delmore, Drew Jonathan Delmore, Dominic Jerome DeBari, Logan Mackenzie Donovan, Meridian Rose Dooley, Kenneth Paul Dunn, Caroline Grace Enright, Catherine Ellicott Falcone, Kevin Fernandez, Daniel Brian Foley, Gabriel Alexander Frood, Megan Natalie Fucci, Jordan Bloom Galvin, Sumanth Ganta, Tegan Grace Gauntlet, Britta Beho Jung Garrity, Genevieve Elaine Garens, Crystal Marie Gilbert, Allison Marie Gillette, Lila Lynn Gordon, Samantha Elizabeth Goslin, Elizabeth Catherine Grande, Abigail Diana Green, Julie May Hadley, Carl Corbin Hampton, John Sweeney Hart, Emma Elizabeth Hatch, Matthew James Hicks, Matthew Drew Higgins, Hunter William Holden, Thomas Jeffrey Hopkins, Haley Preston Horton, Anthony Joseph Hubbard, Bonmai T. Hun, Sean Patrick Inman, Sophia Marie Kaiko, Mitchell Pierce Killick, Juhi Lalwani, Eliana Grace Lantham, Robert Thomas Lee. Scott Harold Lehrer. Andrea Celeste Lowe. Maria Rebecca Lowe. Haley Marie Looney. Kayla Nicole Lyle. Lisa Marjorie Macedo. Maria Julia Montiero Ferrari Machado. Jonathan David Mahoney. Ashna Jayesh Master. Liam Michael McGinty. Nicole Lauren McGinty. Anasia Gabrielle McKinney. Michael Joseph McClarney. Michael Robert McNamara. Laura Elizabeth Medwar. Ashraf Nadim Mohid. Aiden Cody Moore. Joseph Antonio Marico. Nathan William Morrissey. Man Viet Nguyen. Sydney Kirsten Norman. Felix O'Hearn. Kartik Paramaswaran. Forum Ajay Patel. Julia Elizabeth Pereira. Matthew Edmund Pereira. Connor Michael Peterson. Shelby Rita Peterson. Paulina Janina Pizzocaro. Nathan James Poor. Rain Justin Dela Cruz Portation. Jonathan Allen Proya. Alexander Joseph Quadros. Riley Thomas Quinn. Sydney Isabel Reed. Miles A. Reynolds. Joseph Tyler Ross. Liliana Hope Sampieri. Sophia Faith Sampieri. Corey Caitlin Shea. Bridget Rose Sheehan. Matthew Christopher Shoup. Alexandra Joyce Siopes. Brian Kendrick Smith. Frank Andrew Sirocco IV. Tricia McCormick Sparunas. Grace Ellen Stevens. Edward Joseph Talbot. Rudra Sanjay Takar. Natalie Diana Tierney. Sophia Mintui Tran. Hayato Alex Umaoka. Angela Christine Vignola. Eileen Judith Villeneuve. Sophia Volaboy. Ashley Island Wenning. Paul Hangyuji Yang. Cyprian Julius Zolonik. Secretary Emma Francis Stover. Treasurer Aaron Yushing Zhu. Vice President Alexander William Lawton. President Levi Jehiel Cass.
For our final and closing remarks, I'd like to call back Levi Cass, the class president, all the class officers, and the salutatorian, Kevin Hamilton.
Members of Chelmsford High School graduating class of 2020, please rise. Please grasp your tassel and move it from the right side of your mortarboard to the left. Congratulations, class of 2020. We did it.